Oh wait, there's a movie we saw together, I believe. One of the worst movies I have ever seen
You ready?
in a long time.
We can walk out.
Yeah.
You can spare yourselves. Just leave now.
He's actually been really good about holding this in for the most part. I kind of had a pride because I want to see him explode a little bit when he saw this. He's been doing really good about holding this back just so he can unload it all on you.
Russ and I saw this movie a week ago today as of our filming, and so far I'm the only one he's vented anything to as far as I know.
I just got little snippets. Go for it.
Warcraft is such complete fucking shit. And if you are part of the fucking people that say, no, it's not really that bad, I think it's okay, you are off my friends list, you are on my fucking to kill list. That is a piece of garbage shit movie. It is unapologetically poorly paced. You literally, what in the first 10 minutes of the movie, how many locations are we at?
Let's see. We start in Orc World, then we come through into some random field on Human World.
That's fine.
Then we go to Iron Forge.
Where we are introduced to Chekhov's gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a Chekhov's literal gun.
Yeah, it's an actual gun that says like, yes, we're making these. These are awesome guns. The rule of Chekhov's gun, if you don't know, is that if you introduce a gun in the first act, in the third act, it must go off or else people riot. Namely me.
In the case of Warcraft, you introduce a gun in the first act, it goes off in the first act, and then they keep going off.
Yup. We're in the forest. They say, "Oh shit, the orcs are invading." We go to the Iron Forge place. He's hanging out with this dwarf dude.
So, Orc World, Human Forest, Iron Forge, Stormwind.
Now, when they say that, like, you've been summoned to Stormwind. Okay, let's go to Stormwind. Man, shit's fucked at Stormwind. Go to the High Tower. What's it called?
I don't remember the name.
We're gonna call it High Tower.
It's the tower where the Guardian lives.
Welcome to Stormwind. Shit's fucked. Go to the High Tower. That is within 2 minutes. That is within 3 minutes, maybe.
The only thing that happens in Stormwind is he goes there and he meets the king, who's a character we're supposed to care about, and the king says, leave.
No, we don't go to the tower. Go to the battlefield where there are people. We go to the battlefield. We meet the fucking comic relief dude. Like, you know what? I don't understand this shit. We should go to the High Tower. Let's go to the High Tower.
Yep.
It is like that put me in a bad mood. That put me in the bad mood that I was in.
And then from the High Tower we go to the village that the orcs just sacked.
Yeah.
And then from the orcs village we go to the orc camp. And then from there we go to the capital city. And then
now, compliment sandwich. The relationship between the main orc
Duratan
and his wife
Draka
with their little kid is really sweet and looks really, really nice. It is super cool. They're like the only decent characters in that movie. They're great.
If this movie was Duratan and Draka the movie, it would have been a great movie.
If they were gonna be in other movies, that would be great. Oh yeah, they kill both of those orcs. So the movie's basically shitty. It's one of the most shittily edited movies I've ever seen in my life. You know when you like shoot to someone for a quick dramatic angle, you linger on them, right? Like you linger on them? No, you're there for a second. Like that's where they are. Then let's go somewhere else. Let's go to a different shot. Then let's not move on that shot. Let's go here. They don't know how to fucking calm down. That is the most crowbarred. It wins the most crowbarred love story. It takes the crown from Dark Knight Rises.
I don't think it counts as a love story when she's clearly eyeing one person for the entire movie and then later goes and macks on somebody else.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. Even in shitty movie lore.
Especially when she's got friggin' things that she can't even talk with, and then she's gonna go French kiss somebody without slicing his face open.
Do they fuck in that movie? I think they do.
It's not on screen, but basically.
They do. She goes and fucks Mr. McHandsome.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
It's just so bad.
He's like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, but with less character.
Yeah. That king is a boring bitch. That king is a boring fucking bitch, and I hate him.
He has one cool line in the movie, and it's right before he dies.
Yep. By the way, he dies.
So the lead actor.
Yeah.
Which
How old
one?
was he?
Not good. None of them were good. None of them were good actors. It was all this cheesy fucking schlock. Which I could
For the Horde.
Yeah,
Yeah, they say the
They say the thing. I turn over and I was like, hey, they said the thing. welcome to my soapbox.
They said both things because
said
they
both
also
things,
did
but
the
yeah.
Alliance catchphrase.
All right, so
The Alliance isn't even made yet, and they forced the Alliance catchphrase in there.
I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna focus myself. I'm gonna focus a little bit. It's shittily edited, not only in that, but I think I talked about this in Dawn of Justice a little bit. I talked about this in Civil War 2, where when someone is looking somewhere in a shot, and then you cut to a closer bit of that shot, they have to be looking the same way. You cannot be like here, and then zoom in, and they're over here. That is poor directing, and that is poor editing. It's poor directing because you put that on the editor. I've been in that position, and I was the shitty director, where I'm just like, okay, I didn't do that well enough. This is gonna have to look shitty, and I feel bad, and that made me a better director. This guy has done 2 good movies. Should fucking know better.
Right.
It's a crappy story. It's just crappy.
The story isn't bad inherently, but the script is.
They lied, by the way. Remember what they said about that movie? They said, this isn't about just good versus evil. This is about, this is one people and another people going to war. You remember them saying that? I remember them saying that.
So they explicitly make someone evil then.
The Orcs are evil.
No, they're not, though. The Orcs are not evil. Gul'dan, the lead Orc, is evil.
And they're following him. Germany was evil for a couple years. Was for 9 years pretty evil. Okay, they followed that. Yes, they tried to kill him, but
Twice.
essentially, Duratan is Ned Stark in the Northerners in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Because he's the only one recognizing that this is evil magic. This magic that we use takes life away so that we can use it. They actually, to get into to open the portal, they kill cages and cages of people, of slaves, to open the portal. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
And then Duratan's like, okay, this is clearly evil magic. And after he tries to go to humans and say, like, this is evil, my people are, being tricked, we need you to help us. He's then betrayed, his clan is killed, he's like put to trial. And then he has a trial by combat, sort of. I mean, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. But he had a trial by combat against
Gul'dan.
Against Gul'dan, who is the evil guy using the magic. And they're fighting, Duratan is winning, and then evil dude uses evil magic
To cheat.
And I say that because after he kills Duratan, everyone's like, hey, he cheated. Thus, if this was a movie about good versus evil, or against 2 neutral parties, one being misled, then it would be like, he cheated, he's clearly used, like, Duratan's point was not in vain.
The Mak'tai is sacred. We cannot violate its precepts, but we're totally going to.
And then they do. He's like, then he just kind of growls a little bit. He's like, no, for the Horde!
No.
And then they horde up.
No, he totally kills 3 of them, so the rest
Yeah.
of them say, yeah, we're not going to attack you, even though there's 10,000 of us.
Right? So they continue to follow him. They continue to follow his ass. And then humans come, then they have they have the guns, which if we're following Chekhov's gun rule, that should mean something, but they shoot like 4 orcs off, and then it's just...
The guns are the only reason the humans stand a chance in this movie.
Yeah.
They are hopelessly overpowered.
Yeah. And you want to know what the final fight is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's another Mak'ta, it's another trial by combat. It's the human guy Lothar versus the orc's biggest, baddest dude, the Black Hand.
Now, this is also the orc who killed his son in combat earlier in the movie. So there's some semblance of a reason for them to fight. You wanna know how this wins? Wanna know how long it takes?
Do you use the gun?
No.
Pete Townsend's under his legs and cuts him, and then that's the end.
It's a power slide with a sword to the dude's junk in the middle.
And
the
then
last fight.
That's
and
the
that's
last
fight.
It lasts about 15 seconds.
And then that's end. And this time,
And this
Goldar-
time,
Gul-
Gul'dan says, hey, no, you guys, you gotta kill him. He's our enemy, and he just killed our biggest dude.
but now they respect the traditions. And they don't kill the human.
And they just let him walk away. Even though he is the only human left in the orc horde being controlled by the evil magic. They didn't do it for their own person, but they totally did it for the human, who is now, by the way, the king.
And
They could take out the human leadership right here and now, but no.
And you say, well, Justin, clearly now this rallies them against Gul'dan. No. This is the way the movie ends. They're like, well, I guess we'll just have to do it in another movie. Like, essentially, they just say, like, we have to retreat. They open the gate, they let in a bunch of orcs. The only resolution of this movie is that some orcs aren't brought in.
Some orcs are not on Azeroth.
There is no resolution to this movie. None. The only thing that could possibly have been it was maybe a really cool fight scene against
The Black Hand.
the Black Hand, who killed the guy's son. That would have been the only resolution. That wasn't there. They started, and someone said that this was an unfair comparison on Facebook. They started they came up with a trilogy. They started with Empire Strikes Back. Now, I'm not comparing it to Star Wars. Star Wars set precedence in all of cinema. With a trilogy, you don't start with Empire. They did not defeat the Empire in A New Hope, but they had a victory. It was a big victory, it was a small victory, whatever. Batman Begins, he beats fucking Scarecrow. Crime's not down, he beats the Scarecrow.
One guy.
Matrix, they don't take down the Borg, or they don't take down the Matrix.
But he beats Agent Smith,
yeah, they do take down one of the agents, completely. But they continue living. There are victories. There are structures. If you're going to have a shitty movie, then you follow the goddamn rules of shitty movies. You didn't make this for art. What the fuck is this then? A thing where you can say oh no, this is Warcraft. We wanted to make this for our Warcraft game. You make a goddamn Warcraft game. You don't bring it into this house of film, and ask us to play by your rules. We get it. You made a trilogy. You better make it a movie trilogy if you're gonna fucking come up. Fuck them. Fuck that movie. It was one of the worst movies I've seen in my fucking life.
Over the course of the movie, you are told that the human army has lost 19 battalions to the Orcs.
And that they only have, 4 or 5?
They have 11 left.
11 left. And they took those guys to the battle.
And they took everyone to the battle, and everyone died.
Everyone dies. Including the king.
The only guy who survives is Lothar, who's supposed to be our protagonist, but spends most of the movie moping. They make him the new king, for some unexplained reason, I guess because the king didn't have an heir.
Oh no, the king has an heir, but he's like the king in command while a kid's a kid, I think. I don't give a shit.
That's the closest thing to a victory this movie has. So their guardian, the guardian of all the land, was actually evil, so they got rid of him, and they have a new guardian, so that's cool.
And that was a shitty fight.
And they have a new king. They lost their entire army, and the Orcs are going to kill everyone. The end.
That's how that goes. I don't know what the fuck else is... What do you want in the sequel? I hope this doesn't do well. I hope people lose their jobs over this.
It did really, really well. 46 million in the first 2 days.
I'm
and
not
that's
surprised
just
because
China.
A lot of people thought this was going to be one of the better video game movies.
It was going to set the pace for him. That's what people thought.
Assassin's Creed looks good. You know why? Because it looks like it follows movie rules. I will say that as far as a movie, if you're going to come in and make something shitty, Mortal Kombat is shitty. I love it, but Street Fighter is shitty. But those movies feel like movies. They have resolutions, they have their quirks. They're not great movies, but they're fun to watch.
I still feel like Mortal Kombat and Tron Legacy are the best video game movies we've got.
Probably.
There's a huge gap. Like I was talking to a friend on Twitter. Those two, which they are not incredible movies, but they're good, and there's a gigantic gap between them and the rest of video game movies. Nothing comes close.
A lot of the problem
Warcraft jumps that gap right.
A lot of the problem Warcraft had was that it had tried to have too many protagonists. They didn't want to have, for the most part, any blatantly good or evil people. So for protagonists, you've got Duratan, Draka, Orgrim, the Black Hand, Lothar, King Lane, Queen Who's Never Named, Medivh, Khadgar, Garona Half-Orcan. That's 10 people. There's 10 protagonists right there. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing people.
And they say things so quickly and offhandedly, just to fucking check mark. This is
Callan. I forgot about him.
I'm talking about just locations, names of things, names of spells, fucking bullshit sauce.
It's for fan service, basically.
It's a big fan service thing, and you don't make a movie for fan service. You make a movie to make money, or you make it to be good.
Khadgar goes to the Wizard Academy late in the game, and they're all like, "How dare you come here? You did the worst thing." But they never tell us what the worst thing is.
J.J. Abrams, mystery box.
He didn't put the seat down. I'm impressed by how thorough your hate for it was.
I don't hate things without basis. There's a reason I hate these things. Okay, it's.
The reason I hate this thing is because Duratan and Draka for the first 10 minutes were so good.
It set a different...
It was a beautiful movie for 10 minutes, and then it all went to crap.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, the Orcs... the orcs look good. They don't try to make them too realistic. They're cartoony in a good way. Like I said, everything on that part looks fine. It's lit weird, but I don't expect
another conversation.
It's very bright and very like not even old school.
It is surprisingly bright for a movie about everyone dying.
Yeah. It does look there's the thing about how all movies now are tinted blue, which is if you look at
this one is tinted orange.
Yeah, it is. It's I don't know whether whether I'm now accustomed to that or if it's just bad. Because I feel like old movies used to not be tinted blue, but they always used to have much better backlight. I'm getting too into it, but at this point,
all I'm gonna say is that my biggest plot problem with the movie is that Duratan, our lead orc, he says outright, "Hey guys, you remember when we had our own world and it was green and awesome, and then Gul'dan showed up and the whole world died? Do you notice how we just came over to this new green world and it's also dying and no one pays any attention to him whatsoever?"
If this is true, like this makes them evil. They are an invading force against a scrappy bunch of misfits who are humans. Like they're the bad guys. And also, this is maybe a little bit silly. I think it's a little bit racist because all the good orcs, all the ones from his tribe are all very white. They're like very tan orcs, and then everyone else is like very puke green. God. It's just funny to me. Like we're like even the good ones have to be the white ones.
All orcs are white. It's just when they get possessed by the evil magic that they turn green.
But he only used the magic on like one guy. There were swarms of green.
Yeah, because he already turned them evil before the white guys got there.
Oh man.
Anyway, the whole point of this movie was so that Duratan and Draka could have their kid and send him off to live with the humans.
Oh yeah, no, they Moses their kid.
Okay.
They sent him off in a river basket.
Because Thrall is one of the most important characters in Warcraft history, so we had to have this entire movie setting up how he was born.
We could have just probably done a cutscene.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of like the Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
That's how you set up Moses. There's a whole movie about him being Moses. You didn't even need a setup.
Maybe that's what the next movie's gonna be.
I know no one's listening at this point. I don't care.
Never mind. I'll say something afterwards.
But it's just bad. It's just bad, and I feel like I need to get that opinion out there. I feel like I need to come with that opinion. I keep seeing these movies. Critics are maybe not the best source. There could be things that are fun that critics hate.
True.
But when like the score on one half is 20% and the audience score is 80%,
there is something.
I feel like we're not asking for things to be good enough.
Yep, I was gonna say that is part of the problem. It's these companies know that they can cash in on just the names. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's video game based and there's a lot of people that follow it, so they're not gonna put their best foot forward otherwise. And the score spread, like you just said, is not helping anything at all.
I think, and I don't want to get too into this again, but I feel like we saw the same thing with Batman.
Yep.
With the Batman vs. Superman. We had a large distance between audience score and critic score. It's also about like a 75% and a 35%. There's a big disconnect there. We weren't asking for enough.
So the real question is, do we need new critics?
No. I had this conversation with a friend once about how, cause we were super cynical and we liked things that we thought were really good. I was like, if the majority of people like this, maybe we just have wrong opinions. Maybe we're the wrong ones. And he just went, no. No, fuck that. No, I have reasons of why this is bad. Not just because it breaks rules, but because it's legitimately
a bad movie.
It's bad.
Because it's
bad writing.
2-hour movie with 5 comedy beats, none of which lands.
Also, I wanted to kill myself comedically wise because every single bad joke, everyone else in the theater laughed so hard, and I just kept looking over at him just like...
Did you almost lose it in the theater, sir?
I almost cried like 2
My
times.
favorite comedy scene in this whole movie is during the first fight with humans and orcs that you get to see. Khadgar falls over. And then Lothar gives him his hand like he's going to help him stand up, but he drops him.
People laugh.
And then he just walks away. And Khadgar goes,
I'm gonna do that also. Just gonna walk away from this.
that's the best
Ask
joke
more
in the
from
movie.
movies.
That's the best joke in the movie.
Yep.
Ask more for
Unless you really prefer the one where Lothar is going up the stairs and he looks up and there's like 30 more stories. And he
he's like,
goes,
"You okay?"
sighing is really a lot of the jokes in this movie. Because sighs are funny.
You could have cut. You know what, I'm talking about this too. They had so much time for their shitty comedy beats. You didn't need that. Like, you didn't need. There was probably a whole 30 seconds about the point that they're on the stairs together doing that little bit. But they seem to fucking jettison letting moments land. Like, moments that you could let, shots you could let linger just another second or second and a half. They decided to, like, no, let's trim there. Let's put these little gags in here. Let's put these 30-second gags in here.
Also, when he got to the top of the tower, he was really tired.
You could have just shown him being tired.
Zing.
You could have just shown, like, you can even had your shitty joke where you like, right, there's like start at the tower, they look up, and then he gets to the top and he's really tired. You didn't need an in between shot. You didn't need it. You didn't need
We
it.
didn't need this movie, apparently.
Oh, hey, made it. We ran out of the things, the title, end cards, what we were going to do. We're in the podcast here. Did another gameplay, and a sketch. I'll link to a sketch, do that. And click on my face. You wanna subscribe. You're writing that as a joke, right?